Shalom, shalom, brother Abaya. First, I'm going to give all praise and glory to the Heavenly Father, which is Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah. Yahweh being the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shah being the Son, who people unknowingly call him Jesus Christ. Lord willing, you're praying, you fasting, you giving alms, you're doing everything you need to do to make your calling and election sure in these last days. I'm going to give a shalom to the sisters out there who've been keeping the commandments, keeping the faith in Yahweh Shah, being like their righteous foremothers, Esther, Judith, right, Susanna, right, Rachel, Rebecca, Sarah, and the list goes on and on. Now, I want to give double honors to the elect elders who've been pushing this truth out, waiting patiently for Yahweh Shah to make his second coming and to redeem his elect. Now, this is going to be a quick video through the Spirit. It is going to be titled Sheep Amongst Wolves, right? Sheep Amongst Wolves. And it's very important because in these last days, you're gonna have you have sheep amongst wolves in these last days. What are the wolves? These wolves are a beast who like to devour the sheep. Now, who are the sheep? The sheep is Israel, the people in the truth, right? So this is the book of Jeremiah. Let's prove that. Jeremiah chapter 50 and verse 6. And it reads, "My people have been lost sheep." So it says, "My people have been lost sheep," because in the Bible, we're referred to a lot of different things. We are referred to as lilies. We are referred to as sheep. We are referred to as doves. We are referred to as a lot of different things. But right now we've been referred to as sheep. We are lost sheep, right? And it reads, "Their shepherds have caused them to go astray. They have turned them away on the mountains. They have gone from mountain to hill. They have forgotten their resting place." Now, who are these shepherds that have caused the sheep to go astray? These shepherds would be your so-called pastors, right, who falsely lead them into the wrong doctrine, into the wrong way of living. And it could be anything, man, right? Shepherds in the truth. You got people in the truth who are actually wolves, grievous wolves, who want to devour you, who want to have rule over you, dominion over you, right? Who want what's it called, who want 50 lucre. They might be taking your money. They might want you to follow them and things of that nature. There's grievous wolves in this truth. You got wolves in this thing that might only be in this truth to set up a business to get your money, right? So you never know who you really talking to, who you really with in this thing. Just because they got fringes on, they probably got a mitre on, got a necklace on, or anything, man, right? No matter what, they might got that wristband on. They might have a big beard. They might keep saying Kwam Nasrallah, but that doesn't mean that they're the sheep. That doesn't mean that they're actually in this truth, man, right? So that Lord willing is edifying, all right? Let's get into it. But this is the book of Matthew, chapter 7, verse 15. "Beware of false prophets, which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravening wolves." So in these last days, you have to beware of false prophets. False prophets, they may come to you in sheep clothing. They may, greet you, Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shah Barakatah, give you the tap on the shoulder and things in that nature. They might come to the feast. And y'all laughing, y'all sipping some yan together. But inwardly, guess what? It's an agent unaware. It's a false brethren unaware, man. Spying out the congregation, right? And things in that nature. So you got to watch out for people like that. Because, hey, just because they in the truth and got fringes on, they bringing it out. They might be shaking the hand. They reading mightily at camp and things of that nature don't mean anything. Because their fruits have to show, though. Their fruits have to back up what's going on. Let's keep going. Verse 16. "You shall know them by their fruits. Do men gather grapes of thorns or figs of thistles?" Right? So you should know them by your fruits. And over a process of time, when you grow fruits, the fruit, it gets start getting ripe, plum and things in that nature. It slowly grows. So some people in this truth, they stay stagnant. They're not growing. That's one sign of somebody. They're either falling away or they're a wolf in this thing, man. Right? They're not really studying. They're not really doing the first works. They're on the same level 5 months ago, a year ago in this thing. Their spirit kind of off. You gotta try these people, try these sisters, try these men, because sisters too, they off as well. You might be a sister in this truth, and if you're watching this and things of that nature, you gotta watch out for that sister who's who always asking for the recipe. You might cook the best mac and cheese. You might do the best, chicken or something like that. She's asking for the recipe. You give her the recipe, guess what? She just overthrew you in a congregation. She took your recipe. You know, she made the food for the congregation, and she said, "I did this. It's my recipe, right? It's my recipe." And everybody started glorifying her and things in that nature. And guess what? She just took your power. She just overthrew you because she's not in this truth for what's it called, for the righteous reasons. She want to have the preeminence amongst the sisters, right? Amongst the sisters. You used to cook some good mac and cheese, but guess what? Now that's her office. When you have a feast day, everyone goes to her for the mac and cheese. Everyone kind of despises you now. Now she's talking bad about you amongst the sisters. She gave you a bad name because you wasn't watching carefully on who the sister is, man. And she just came into the camp 1 month ago, and you already gave her the secret recipe that your grandma gave to you, right? So you gotta watch out for brothers and sisters in this thing, because just because they in the truth doesn't mean that they are sincere. That's the whole point. Watch out for insincere people, because not everybody is sincere. Yeah, don't get me wrong. You do have brothers who sincere, who want to do the work of the Lord, who want to shake the hand, who love wearing fringes, who love wearing mitris, got a gold chain about his neck, man, who always constantly reading. Hey, there's brothers that be falling asleep while they read, man. While they studying, they studying at 1 minute, and they wake up the next day not knowing what happened because they're over studying, man. Right? You got sincere brothers in this thing. Then you got insincere people who's not really sincere, who just want to have the love on the congregation, who love to praise the men, who want people to worship and follow them, who only wants you for your money and things of that nature, who want to cheat you basically and destroy you. So who want to come up with false doctrine. So we gotta watch out for people like that, right? Let's keep going. Matthew 7 and verse 17. Even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit. Right, so if it's a good tree, and we refer to as trees, I believe you got Psalm 92 and 12. You got Psalm 37 verse 35. Right, you got the classic in Mark 8 and 24. We are referred to as trees. Right, so us as trees, we bring forth fruit. The fruit represents our works. Right, if your tree is bringing forth good fruit, that means your works are in righteousness. You're doing what you need to do. You sincere in this thing. You reading, you praying, you fasting. Then over time, you get strengthened up. And what happened over time? Your fruit start to grow, where you can eat it and it's good. Like an apple. You love apples. You might love pineapples. The pineapple just didn't appear there. It had to grow over time, right? That represents the sincere people. Then you got insincere people. If I'm saying that correctly, or people who's not sincere. They in this truth. Guess what? They're not really studying. They're not really praying. They don't really believe in the Most High God. They're only in this thing for their own will. They want to have constraint over you. They want to have power over you. They probably let me see. They probably want to. I don't know, man. They might have a business, right, and things of that nature. And they say, oh, the Israelites, they support each other and things of that nature. They would never second guess if I come into this truth. They will always support my business. You got people like that who's only in the truth just so you can support their business and keep buying their clothes, man. Right? And things of that nature. You might have a brother who's not sincere, who's only in this truth to get multiple wives. He don't believe in the Most High God, right? He's an atheist at anything. Or you might have a brother who's calling the Most High God name Yahuwah, the Son of Man named Yahushua, who don't know the real Most High God's name or his son name, who don't really know what's going on, who don't study. You might be a sister proving a brother, right? You ask him, how would you break down Deuteronomy 28, and things of that nature to see if he's really studying. He don't know how to break down Deuteronomy 28 and verse 15 on down. He don't know what's going on, right? He can't teach you. He can't lead you. He's just in it for you. And guess what? You, being simple, you let that man go in unto you. Y'all married now, but he left you. He left you with things of that nature, man. And you got to deal with it. Because you wasn't being, vigilant in these last days. Or you might be a brother. You might be a brother. You might meet somebody, a so-called female, a female in this thing, a woman. She comes to you, a nice head wrap. She got the frankincense myrrh on, right? So she's glowing in her countenance and things in that nature. But you're so caught up on her beauty and things in that nature. You wasn't being vigilant and seeing that this could be a wolf. Again, what does wolves do? They destroy you, man. They're not there to be your friends. When have you seen a wolf and a lamb get along together? If you see a wolf and a lamb together, that means the wolf is about to take that thing out, man. Right? So you got to watch out for these things. That sister might entice you with her words, right? With her dress, her looks, and things in that nature. Then you get enticed, you fall for the trap, And guess what? Now you at the truth. Now you at the truth. Read Proverbs chapter 7, man. Right? Let's keep going though. Matthew chapter 7 and verse 18. And it reads, a good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit, neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit. Right? So a man or a woman that's in this truth sincerely is going to bring forth good fruit. He or she is waxing stronger and stronger and stronger in her knowledge, her wisdom, and his understanding, right? And his countenance and his wisdom and things of that nature, right? But a bad tree, it cannot produce good fruit. If you in this truth, not sincere in things of that nature, you're going to see it. Hey, Paul, I forgot what verse it is, but Paul, he has such a good discernment. He can call bush BS in minutes, man. Excuse my language. But he know when stuff is BS. Read 1 Kings chapter 3 and verse 16 on down. King Solomon, he had good discernment, in things of that nature when someone's BSing, man. You have to have that same discernment as a king, because we are kings on another level, kings and princesses. So you have to have discernment to know when someone's really in this thing or not. By what? By trying them, by proving them. You have to prove a friend. Let's get that real quick. You have to prove a friend in this thing. You got to prove everybody, because you never know who Satan can hop on. All right? Let's get Sirach 6. Get Sirach 6 and verse 7. And it reads, if thou wouldest get a friend, prove him first and be not hasty to credit him. Right? Because you got a lot of people who always glorifying people online. Oh, man, he's a prophet. He's so-and-so back on the earth. But when you meet him in person, he cuss him up a storm, right? He's talking bad to you and things of that nature. He's a nigga in person, things of that nature, right? And you find out some things that wasn't on the internet. So you can't be glorifying people over the internet, but when you meet them in person, it's a whole different story, man. You got to try these people, because yeah, people can put on the front, on the front, and things of that nature. They can probably deceive you, make it seem like they ain't as true for real. But the Most High knows everything. The Most High is trying the hearts. Just because you see them, they might be teaching or something like that, but behind closed doors, they beating their wife, man. They beating their wife, being niggas, being harlots, right? A woman might be smoking a blunt behind closed doors. And she got a, hey, man, or I don't want to get into it, but I witnessed something on social media. A so-called virtuous woman got a gun, towing the gun, man. Right? She's in everybody's face, got the camera on everybody. She said, Shalom. She's one of the boys, man. Going up to the man of the Lord. Shalom, Shalom. What's up? What's up? Say something to the camera. Hey, man, what's going on here, man? So you gotta try everybody, because not everybody is sincere in this thing and things of that nature. Their spirit not right, man. Right? Matthew chapter 7 and verse 19, and it reads, every tree that bringeth not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire. So if you're not bringing forth good fruit, you're going to get destroyed, right? Verse 20, wherefore by their fruits you shall know them. So by their fruits, by their actions, how do they carry themselves? Do they have integrity? Are they upright, or are they wicked? There's something in your spirit that says something's off about this, man. I just can't point it out, man. There's something off about this, right? You got many flags. Always, I don't want to get into it, but hey, you got many flags in this thing, man, right? Something happened in this situation, then something happened in this situation. Now you trying to connect the dots, but you too merciful, man. Amen. Those so-called red flags, that's the Most High giving you a sign. Fall back. Watch out for this sister. Watch out for this brother. Watch out for so-and-so, man, right? So you gotta take these signs and mark them. You gotta mark them that is contrary to how you walk, right? Let's get another precept. Let's get Acts. Let's get Acts chapter 20. Just because you sincere, right, Lord willing, just because you are so-called nice, you may be so-called merciful, just because you are walking uprightly doesn't mean everybody in this truth is upright. You got grievous wolves in this truth, man. Hey, they say in the world that this world is grievous, man. It's not. This world is not fair. Even in this truth, this truth, hey man, not everybody is like you. And you got to understand that. Book of Acts, chapter 20, and verse 28, and it reads, take heed therefore unto yourselves and to all the flock over the which the Holy Spirit hath made you overseers to feed the church of God, which he hath purchased with his own blood. So we are overseers. An overseer, he watched over the flock, right? And we're minor shepherds. We're willing to get that in the next precept, but we're on a low level. We're shepherds on a low level. We have to watch over the flock. And what does shepherds do? They watch over the flock, make sure no wolves come and devour them. They gotta make sure there's no poisonous plants. Basically, on a lower level, we're a spiritual guide to the sheep, to the Israelites, to the more lower level Israelites. That's why the Lord told us to be that light, be an example, right? Acts 20 and verse 29, and it reads, "For I know this, that after my departing shall grievous wolves enter in among you, not sparing the flock." So Paul already knew what time it was when he was going to depart, that he already knew that grievous wolves will come, not sparing the flock. Was he actually talking about physical wolves, literal wolves? No, he knew that false prophets, these heathen, but chiefly the people in the truth, will come and try to spoil and devour the flock, man. That's where you have all these false doctrines going on right now. False doctrines come up because you got people who want to seek preeminence, who want to seek honor from people, who want vainglory and things of that nature. Those are the grievous wolves, man. For example, he's not in the truth, but David Land, he do things in vainglory, man. That's a grievous wolf. These pastors, those are grievous wolves. Even in the truth, though, watch out for people who try to entice you with a false doctrine and things of that nature, try to destroy you. He might get in your mind, make it seem like, man, you always wrong, man. You always wrong. You're wicked and things of that nature. He try to get in your mind and make it seem like you always off. The Lord's going to destroy you. You got to watch out for people like that, man. I would never want to be around a brother who's always saying the Lord's going to destroy you, brother. Like, you go to him for counsel, yet the Lord's going to destroy you. Hey, man, watch out for him, man. He don't care for you, right? That's a wolf right there who wants to see you get destroyed and devoured in this thing, man, right? And watch out for sisters too. If you're a sister, watch out for that sister who tells you, yeah, you should go for so and so. Yeah, y'all be good together. Hey, all praise to the Most High. You should go for him. No, that sister knows that brother don't teach. It might be a setup. Those two, that one sister and that one brother, they might know each other and things of that nature, but they putting on a front or they don't. They both know each other, right? But they putting up a front or they don't. Then later on in the same camp, the one sister tells you, yeah, you should go for that brother right there. He's righteous. He's on fire 24/7. Even though he don't post no videos, he doesn't teach. He's late to camp, right? And things of that nature. But what's it called? Yeah, you should go for that brother. Next thing you know, you go for that brother. Guess what? It's a wolf the whole time. You get devoured. He don't teach you. He only wanted you for your body and things of that nature. And guess what? All of a sudden, the sister and the brother, they leave the camp. And you just there not knowing what's going on. You try to text him, what's going on. And guess what? He doesn't respond because you got set up in this thing. There's many things that can happen, man. There's many things that can happen. But you got to watch out for people like that, man. You got to try the spirit. You can't just let anybody in your temple. And your temple is what? This flesh right here, right? You can't, or your spiritual temple. You can't let nobody in your temple like that. Just anybody, right? I'm going to read Acts 20, chapter 20, verse 30. And it reads, "Also of your own selves shall man arise." So what does it mean, also of your own selves? Meaning of the people in the truth. Because you got wolves that might be heathens and that's not in the truth. But you also got wolves that's in this truth, right? Wearing fringes, right? Got a meat tree on or a head wrap on, right? Probably teaching, prophesying, shaking the hand, right? A big beard is glistening in the sun because the oil he put in. Got the frankincense and myrrh, smelling up the whole house, right? But behind closed doors, those are wolves, man. A wolf is not going to show that it's a wolf. When wolves hunt, they do it in secretly until they go for the hunt, go for the prey, until they attack, right? So you got to watch out for that. A wolf not going to show itself on purpose. It's going to be what? Discreet, secret, right? Until it catches you being docile, being weak in the spirit, and then it's going to make its attack. Even Satan is represented as a wolf too. Satan, it doesn't come to you when you're strong, when you're on fire. It comes to you when you what? When you're weak, when you're fasting, when you're going through tribulation, that's when Satan comes to you. So watch out for these wolves. When you start being weak, then out of nowhere, these wolves start attacking you, man. You gotta watch out. Watch out for the people who you keep company with too. Because you may be talking about a serious business with a brother or a sister and things of that nature. Then whole time he's listening with the ear, or she's listening with the ear that's sitting across the room, right? I might be sitting right next to you, acting like acting like he or she's having a conversation with somebody else, but whole time he or she's listening to that one conversation. And you say something important or something kind of so-called embarrassing, guess what? Now he or she knows. Now he's spreading it amongst the whole congregation. Now you have a bad name. And guess what? That's going to start drama, because you're going to be like, how does he know? Or how did she know? Do you mind? I only told you. Then you're going to start pointing fingers at the one brother or at the one system. But he sincerely and honestly didn't tell nobody. So it's going to cause drama. All hell going to break loose. So you got to watch who you keep company with and who you sit around, who you talk to as well. Right? I'm going to read Acts 20 and 30 again. Also of your own selves shall a man arise, speaking perverse things, to draw away disciples after them. So some people just want to speak diverse, just want to speak perverse things to have the preeminence. They might come out with a false doctrine. They might say that the Most High God. They might believe in the Old Testament now. They pull people at the same camp you in to follow them. They might come up with a false fable or a false doctrine just to have the preeminence. You gotta watch out for people like that, man, because they're not sincere. They're not sincere at all, man. Right, let's get another precept. Come on. Let's get precept real quick. 1 Timothy. Let's get 1 Timothy chapter 4. Classic real quick. 1 Timothy chapter 4 and verse 1. Right? And it reads, now the Spirit speaketh expressly that in the latter times some shall depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils, speaking lies and hypocrisy, having their conscience seared with a hot iron, man. And that's how you know we're in the last days. You got a lot of people following out the truth, giving heed to seducing spirits. They want to, because that's a wolf right there. You might go on the internet, on YouTube, you see someone breaking down a whole chapter wrong, and guess what? You giving heed to that, and you fall out the truth in this thing. Because those men, they're not sincere. Remember, the Lord only gives wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to the people who's poor and meek in the spirit, or who's who's sincere in the spirit. If you're sincere, the Lord gonna reveal secrets and give you the truth, give us His true name and things in that nature. But then you'll have brothers or sisters who's not sincere, who don't really keep the commandments, who hate their brother probably, and things of that nature. And guess what? They breaking down the scripture all wrong just to get preeminence, and just for you to pay them. They might say you have to pay tithes and things of that nature. You have to pay $150 a tithe every week. Next thing you know, you go broke. You ask, can you help me out? I'm in a hard patch and things of that nature. They said, too bad, I don't care. Next week, I want my $150, man. If you don't have it, guess what? I'm gonna condemn you. The Lord gonna destroy you. You got people like that in this thing, man. They don't care, but they just want your money. Does that sound familiar? Don't that sound like the pastors in these Christian churches? They don't care about you, man. They just want your money. They only care about themselves, man. Another word would be selfish, right? Let's get this real quick, the classic in Jeremiah 23. Jeremiah 23 and verse 1. Woe be unto the pastors that destroy and scatter the sheep in my pasture, saith the Lord. So woe be unto these pastors, false teachers, right? Woe be unto them, because those are the ones who scattering the sheep, man, destroying them, eating them up, tearing them up with these false doctrines, making them pay taxes, even though we are poor, right? There's nothing wrong with giving a collection to a camp and things of that nature. That's not what I'm saying. But watch out for people who's overdoing it and making you and forcing you pay taxes in this thing, man. But of course, we do give alms to a camp. You might be in a camp, you give alms. You may give alms to the poor out there in the city. There's nothing wrong with that, right? There's nothing wrong with that at all, right? But I'm going to read 1 Timothy 4 and 1 again. It says, now the Spirit speaketh expressly that in the latter times some shall depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils, speaking lies and hypocrisy, having their conscience seared with the hot iron. So these false teachers, they speaking lies, man. They speak lies just for you to follow them and just for you to follow the truth. What's the lie? They may say that you can smoke weed. And you might like it. It might be good to your ears. You may love that because you smoke weed right now. It may seem good to you. Guess what? When the Lord comes back, you're gonna wonder why you're on fire because you're not supposed to be smoking. You're not supposed to be smoking weed, man. That's going off. But you gave heed to that wolf. That wolf destroyed you, man. And he knew what he was doing because he used to be in the truth. You probably saw the old video on his YouTube channel. You scroll all the way down. He's saying, he's pulling 1 Corinthians 3:16. You can't smoke weed, things of that nature. Now, in the present time, now he's saying you can't smoke weed. It's okay. The Most High, it's okay with the Most High, right? I'm an elder. I know what I'm doing. It's okay to smoke. That's what he might be saying now. And you might be like, well, he is an elder, All praise to the Most High. Next thing you smoking up a blunt. Next thing you know, you roll up a blunt. The Lord rolls up on you, and now you in the spiritual world, man. So you gotta watch out for these seducing spirits and false doctrine, man. Right? Let's go to 1 Peter. All right, 1 Peter, real quick. Chapter 5. That's why it's important that we be vigilant. 1 Peter chapter 5. I'll start at verse 2, and it reads, "Feed the flock of God, which is among you." So we got to feed the flock of God. The flock is the nation of Israel. We should be out there feeding them, giving them the living waters, man. Draw them to the living waters. We shouldn't be shutting up the water. We shouldn't be giving them false doctrine. We should be the light to the sheep, which is Israel. We should teach them on the highways and byways and pull them into the Lord's pasture, right? Taking the Slakia. Feed the flock of God, which is among you, taking the oversight thereof, not by constraint, but willingly, not for a filthy lucre, but of a ready mind. So you shouldn't be doing this for filthy lucre. You shouldn't be doing this for your own reasons, your own flesh. Whatever your own reasons is, you might want to be seen of man. You on YouTube, right, and things of that nature, right? You want to be seen of man, making it look like you mighty and things of that nature. You might want to be seen of man with the longest garment, right? And you got a fake beard on, the patch kind of hanging down when you teaching. You kind of shaking the hand, the wind blows, the beard comes off. Right, brother, what happened, brother? What's going on? All right? So you got to watch out for people who be doing things in filthy lucre and of their own will. Right? Verse 3. "Neither as being lords over God's heritage, but being ensamples to the flock." Right? So you can't be lords over God's inheritance. I mean, you can't be overruling in your so-called power. You can't be overpowering this thing, man. Right? Get down and tie my shoe. Right? Hey, I'm the elder, man. I'm the leader of this camp. Get down and tie my shoe. You can't watch out for people like that, because you got brothers in the truth like that. Right? You might have you might be in a camp, you might having sisters and things of that nature, right? The sister might say, "Get up, that's my seat." Well, where am I going to sit? Get up, that's my seat. And you kind of get up, and hey, it's what it is. You can't do nothing about it, man. You gotta watch out for people like that who want to have power over you and things of that nature, right? And hey, man, that's going off, man. Right? You might have someone tell you, "Go fix my plate. I want this. I want this. I want this. Be back in 3 minutes. If you're not here in 3 minutes, I'm gonna be upset. And you're gonna get kicked out of the camp." Hey, watch out for people like that. You can't be overruling in this truth, man. Because even Yahushua wasn't like that. He was a servant, anything. If you just so-called, I don't want to say the best, but I'll put it like that, but Lord willing, you have ears to hear. But if you're the so-called best in the camp, the Lord said you should be the lowest. You should be the servant. If you the master, Yahushua came to be servitude to others, to be a servitude to others, to be a servant to others. He didn't come and want power. He wasn't coming to seek preeminence. He washed Peter's feet. He washed the disciples' feet and things of that nature, man. He was healing people. He didn't get any sleep. And more importantly, he died for not only you, not only me, but all the nation of Israel, man. Right? And that's how we should be. We shouldn't be overruling or overpowering in our dominance and things of that nature, but asserting authority over people like that, man. Right? 1 Peter 5 and verse 4. "And when the chief shepherd shall appear, you shall receive a crown of glory that fadeth not away." And who's the chief shepherd? Yahushua is the chief shepherd. So we are minor shepherds on a lower level. What does a shepherd do? He guides the sheep. He's the overseer of the sheep and protecting the sheep, protecting the flock. If a wolf comes, he has a staff in his hand. He's going to knock that wolf away, man. Same thing is true. We are shepherds on a lower level. If we see wolves, false doctrine, wicked ass men, right? We're going to get that spiritual staff. We're going to knock them away, man, and rebuke them with the shaking of the hand, right? I'm going to jump down to verse 8. Be sober, be vigilant. What does it mean to be vigilant? Vigilant, be circumspect, always looking about, right? Keeping your head on the swivel, man. If your head, you're just walking like this, you're a robot. You're not really you're not really looking around. You're gonna get mugged, man. You get a gun to the back of your head, you get mugged. They take your phone, they take your wallet, and they dip it because you wasn't looking around. But that man who's looking around, he sees everything from a different perspective. Oh, I see a mug. I see a robber. He better try and come and rob me. Look, I'm gonna go the other way, right? You gotta be circumspect. Oh, I see a wolf. He's trying to come and attack the flock. Okay, I got my staff right here. If he come, it's gonna be a problem, man. Right? So you should be always circumspect and looking around, because Satan gonna be using different devices, man, to come at you. Whether it be a female, a woman, right? Whether it be a man, a so-called friend, this thing, right? It could be anybody, man. Because don't forget, Satan, let's get that precept real quick. Satan appears as an angel of light. It comes to you in its ways, and it's something that you want, or that you really want in this thing, right? You may want a husband. You may want a wife. Guess what? Satan, he heard that. He read your heart. Guess what? He going to appear to you. And guess what? He's going to be the most handsome man ever. Got the beard. Posture all nice, right? 6-8 pack, right? And things of that nature. Guess what? But that's Satan in the flesh, man. You get with him, and guess what? Now, guess what? He's a wife beater, a woman beater. He's beating you behind closed doors. You come to camp with glasses on. You never wore glasses, sunglasses. It's not, the sun is not out. But now you got your sister's asking you, why you got sunglasses out? It's cloudy. It's about to rain. What's going on? Then the Lord kind of make it fall out your face, and you got a bruise on your eye, man. The next thing you know, you go back home, and a man says, why did you tell the sisters? Now I'm suspended. And he start beating you again, man, because you wasn't vigilant. Or you might be a brother. Yeah, man, I want a wife in this thing. Lord will I can get a wife. All praise to the Most High. That'd be so lovely. And then guess what? You get a so-called wife in this thing, and she's the devil. You go home, you get off of work, you come back from this, that, and the third, you come back from camp. All I do is argue. She put hands on you. She grab you by the ear all the time. Hey man, she don't know how to cook, right? She never read the Bible before. It was all a front. It was all a front just to get with you, man, because she was lonely that night, right? So you gotta be circumspect in these things, man. Right? So look, I'm trying to find a precept. I think it's 2 Corinthians 11 and 14. But basically it says, that even Satan, he manifests himself to be an angel of light. Is it 1 Corinthians? No. But Lord willing, I can find that on our own. But yeah, Satan manifests himself to be an angel of light, and you gotta watch out for people like that, right? But we can go back to the thing though. Let's go back though. Let's go back to 1 Peter chapter 5 and verse 8, and it reads, "Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour." And Satan can use anything or anyone to take you out as that lamb, man. Because Satan, he's the wolf. He's the head of the pack of the wolves. He's going to use his wolves and different devices, different people to take you out. So you got to be circumspect as a sheep and as a shepherd as well, to know who you walking with in this thing, who's around you, and what's around you. When I say what's around you, what are you entertaining? You turn the TV on. Is folly on the? Are you watching folly on the TV? That can be a wolf right there trying to take you out. Who are you texting? Are you spending more time with this man or with this female and things of that nature, talking about nothing? That can be a wolf. If it's a distraction, if it's keeping you from following the Most High God and keeping His law, statute, commandments, that's a wolf, man. If it's trying to sift you out, it's a wolf at the end of the day, right? Let's go to 2 Peter, right? So look, yeah. 2 Peter I want to see what I'm gonna get first, man. All right, con 2 Peter 2:1. Con. And it reads, but there were false prophets also among the people, even as there shall be false teachers among you, who privately shall bring in damnable heresies, even denying the Lord that bought them, and bring upon themselves swift destruction. So you're going to have false prophets. Yeah, they might be on the highways and byways, but guess what? They used to be in the truth. They used to believe in Yahushua. Now they're Old Testament onlys. And they're trying to confound you. You might get confounded by Old Testament only. Now you are Old Testament only, right? Because you wasn't being vigilant. You wasn't studying, keeping the commandments, and you wasn't sincere in this thing. So you're gonna have people who come with damnable heresies telling you that Yahushua is not real. The resurrection already passed. Like Hymenaeus and Philetus, man, concerning the truth, have erred, man, saying that the resurrection is already passed, overthrowing the faith of some, if I'm not mistaken. I believe that's 2 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 17 and verse 18, right? Become verse 2, 2 Peter chapter 2 and verse 2. And many shall follow their pernicious ways, by reason of whom the way of truth shall be evil spoken of. So you might have people follow that congregation, follow that so-called prophet, that false prophet. You may have people leave the truth to follow somebody else just because of whom is speaking it. He might have been a man of renown, a man of so-called honor in the truth. He goes off, he followed the truth, and then now he starts saying that Yahushua isn't real. You're going to have a lot of people follow that man just because he's a so-called man of honor or man of renown, and everybody knows of him. He might get 50K views on the video. Every time you go on Instagram, you might see him rebuking and things of that nature, right? And he goes off. Now he starts saying that Yahushua isn't real. You're going to have a lot of people posting in the comments, all praises to the Most High for you. I can't believe I got to meet you in the flesh. Oh my gosh, you're amazing. All praises to the Most High. You'll have people liking the Instagram post. It might be on Twitter. You'll have people retweeting and things of that nature. But hold on, man. He just said Yahushua isn't real. Even though the scripture says he's true, man, and living. So what's going on here? So you got to watch out for people who going to, who brings in damnable heresies, man. No matter who it comes from. Right? Verse 3. And through covetousness. What's covetousness? Being lustful. Wanting this. Wanting that. Wanting this. A man might be covetous for what? For honor, to be a man of renown, to be seen of men, for vainglory, for preeminence. He may be in covetousness for that, man. Right? He may be in covetousness to be the top man of Israel, have the biggest, mightiest beard, to be a leader of a congregation. All right? And through covetousness shall they with feigned words make merchandise of you. What's feigned words? Meaning they might seduce you with words. Okay, look. They might, you might be in his congregation. Okay, look. He might pull a precept, and that precept is not in context. He might pull a precept saying we have to give 10% of the tithes. But if you love the Most High God with the whole heart, you'll get 50% of all your earnings, man. You'll get 50% of all your earnings. So like he's saying, trying to take away the word, man. But he said, if you love the Most High God, and I'm sure y'all do, you will get 50% of all that you make. That's feigned words in this thing, man. Trying to seduce you to make you go off just so they can make merchandise of you, right? I mean, I don't want to talk about that, man. I don't know, cause we have different understandings on that. But I am going to say this, man. I was at this thing, at this function in the truth, and righteousness, of course, and right when the Sabbath ended, I never seen tables come out. I never seen a shop get set up in place so fast, man. I turned my head one way. I was talking to a brother. I turned my head the other way. You had people already buying and selling right when the Sabbath ended, man. It's like they couldn't wait to get money, buy and sell. I'm like, what's going on? They couldn't wait, man. Right? I saw someone carrying a table, trying to get that thing set up fast, and he's selling products. She's selling products. People buying and selling. I never seen that thing so fast, man. It's like they can't wait for the Sabbath to end, man. Right? It blew me that day, man. But no, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. The Lord knows the hearts of people. So, but 2 Peter chapter 2 and verse 13, and it reads, and shall receive the reward. Now, when you read this chapter, it's still going into these false prophets, right? 2 Peter 2 and 13, and shall receive the reward of unrighteousness, as they that count it pleasure to riot in the daytime. Spots they are, and blemishes, sporting themselves with their own deceivings while they feast with you, man. So you might have people who eat with you, who's feasting with you, who you congregate with and things of that nature, but whole time they deceiving you. They deceiving you in this thing. You don't even know it, man. Right? That's why you gotta try people. Verse 14, having eyes full of adultery. So you got. Remember what happened to Susanna? You had these two elderly men who was lusting after Susanna to commit adultery with her, man. And they got put to death, right? And that happens in the truth. You got elders, you got men who's only in this truth just to commit adultery and fornication and act like nothing happens. They don't care about keeping the commandments. The only time they wear fringes is when they go out and they congregate with brothers on the Sabbath day at the camp. That's the only time they wear fringes. When they posting pictures, they got no fringes on. They're all dripped out with no fringes, man. You gotta watch out for people like that, right? But they're in everybody DMs. They're under all the sisters' comment sections saying, "You're so beautiful. All praise to the Most High." Right? And it reads, and that cannot cease from sin. And these men or these women, they can't cease from sin. They're always going off, man. You're always peeping something that they're doing, man. Right? But guiling unstable souls. And when I read this before I was taking down notes, it hurt me, man, because these unstable souls, they might be sincere in this thing, man. They want to learn about the Most High God. Then you have these grievous wolves who don't care about no one, who want to sift them out, man. Right? In heart, they have exercised with covetous practice cursed children, man. And the Lord said they're going to be cursed. They're going to destroy them, man. So everybody's not sincere. Everybody's not your friend. Everybody's not your brother. Everybody's not your sister. You got to have that mindset, man. If they're not walking according to the law, statutes, and commandments, guess what? You mark that. It is what it is. Business is business. All right? Let's get another precept. Let's get the next precept. Okay, I'm going to get two more. We're going to wind down. All right, let's get Jude. There's only one chapter in Jude, verse 4. Right? Just the book of Jude, verse 4. And it reads, for there are certain men crept in unawares, who were before of old ordained. I'm going to read it again. For there are certain men crept in unawares. So you got certain men who crept in unawares, man. What it means to be unaware of, meaning you don't know. This man, he knows what he's doing. He might be a spy, an agent whole time, but he's unaware. You don't know it, man. It's a false brother, and you don't even know it. Greeting you up, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shah Barakatah, right? He taps you on the shoulder, all praise to the Most High. He says, all praise to the Most High. He learns the what's called the lingo in the nation of Israel and things of that nature. He might got a mitre on, a mighty staff, right? A chain about his neck in this thing, man. Right? What else? He got the, I don't know, man. He got the biggest boots. While he walked proud, he got the best garment on, right? But the whole time he's crept in unawares, man. Right? I'm gonna read it again, Jude verse 4. For there are certain men crept in unawares, who were before of old ordained to this condemnation, ungodly men, turning the grace of our God into lasciviousness, and denying the only Lord God and our Lord Yahweh Shah HaMashiach. And people gotta get this in their mind too. Just because you say I believe in Yahweh Shah or in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, your actions have to back it up. Your actions can say that you don't believe, man. And these people unawares, they don't believe through their actions, right? They might say, yeah, man, I'll call Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, right? Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah. But guess what? His actions, he's wicked behind closed doors. Again, he probably beat little kids up, man. Right? He's wicked behind, he's smoking a blunt right before a camp. He's drinking right before a camp, man. But you know, there's different doctrines on that, but I ain't standing on that. All right? It's madness, man. So you gotta watch out for people who's crept in unawares, man. Who never want to put no work in that camp. Right? You gotta watch out for people like that. Always coming up with excuses. How come you haven't been reading? Man, I mean, Man, all praise to the Most High. Well, brother, what's going on, man? You ask the brother what he's been reading for the past 2 months. Man, he basically just give you bull crap. He try to give you something and switch the topic, man. You gotta watch out for. You gotta mark that and don't forget that, man. Because you gotta watch out for people like that. And that goes into this last precept, right? It goes into this last precept. It's very important, man. Very fundamental and expedient that you do this. This is the book of 1 John, chapter 4 and verse 1. Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits, whether they are of God, because many false prophets are going out into the world. So look, man, John's putting you on game. The same way your dad might put you on game with this, or a big brother might put you on game with this, or your grandma or your mom might put you on game with this, or a sister might put you on game with this. Look, John's doing the same thing. He says, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits. You have to try everybody, man. There's different ways you can try people. I know brothers might have their own arsenal on how to try people, things of that nature, but you have to try them. Hey, what's the Lord's real name? Yahweh, things like that. That's an easy one, man. Right? You might ask him a question about, what you've been reading. And that one right there, it may seem easy and things of that nature to answer it, but it's not. Some people can BS it, but they will have to come up with. They might say, "Yeah, I've been reading 1 Samuel and things of that nature. I've been reading 1 Samuel. Oh, what chapter? I've been reading chapter 20. What's that chapter going into? Put me on game. What's going on? What's that chapter going into? About David slaying the Goliath. But hold on, that's chapter 17. Oh yeah, that chapter. All right, brother, you got it, brother. All praise to the Most High, you got it, brother. Straight like that, man. There's different ways to try people, man, and sisters too, right? What you been doing? How you been doing? How you been doing, sister? You been diligent? Yeah, I've been diligent. I've been cooking. What you cook? I cook macaroni. What you put in the macaroni, sister? Hey, share with me. What's up? Like she don't know she don't know what's going on, man. She don't know how to respond and things of that nature. Ask somebody, are they fasting? How's your fasting game going? Man, I'm feeling mighty, man. I'm about to go on a fast for, hey man, on certain for 2 days. Okay, let me lock in with you. All praise, y'all lock in together on a fast. You call a brother, and then guess what? You hear a water bottle in the back. You hear a water bottle in the back. You hear him chewing on something. Like, brother, what's going on, brother? I thought you said he was fasting. I am fasting, brother. There's different ways you can try people, man. But just the whole point of this video is be circumspect. Watch what's around you. Watch on who's around you. Keep the commandments, man. Let me get one more precept, actually. All right, let me say one more precept. Me and a brother were just talking about this right before this video, man. And it's spiritual. It's very spiritual, right? This is the book of Luke, chapter 22, and verse 31, and it reads, "And the Lord said, Simon, Simon, behold, Satan have desired to have you." So Satan desires to have you. He wants you. When you desire something, you want that, man. You want that thing, right? That he may sift you as wheat. But I have prayed for thee, that thy faith fail not. And when thou art converted, strengthen thy brethren, man. You see that? So Satan desires you. He might use certain people, certain things to get you out this thing. But even the Lord himself is going to be so bad, it's getting to the point where Yahushua, he has to make an intercession and pray for you, man. For you. You watching this video, if you got this far, the Lord's praying for you to endure unto the end, man. So I just want to give a call halom, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah. Shalom.